Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing great. We finally have a brand new Stoneshard Devlog, and this time the spotlight is on one of the most anticipated weapon trees in the game, wands. Today we're going to go through the entire devlog together, take a look at every ability, explain how the new mechanics work, and, of course, I'll be sharing my thoughts on the design choices, possible builds, and what I think this could mean for the future of the game. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Before showing the abilities, the developers first explained the philosophy behind this new weapon type. Wands were the final weapon category they had planned to add to Stoneshard, and according to the team, they ended up being one of the most challenging weapons to design. Their goal was to preserve the classic roguelike concept of wands, relying on a charge system, while avoiding the common problem of making them feel like nothing more than an item that lets you cast an extra spell or two. Instead, they wanted wands to become true primary weapons, capable of supporting an entire playstyle while creating meaningful synergies with every current and future school of magic. Personally, I think this was a very smart decision. Anyone familiar with Stoneshard knows that every weapon has its own identity and a distinct playstyle. So it was important for wands to find their own niche instead of feeling like just another extension of magic. On top of that, being a one-handed weapon naturally encourages hybrid combat. You can pair a wand with a shield for extra survivability, dual wield two wands to fully embrace their mechanics, or even combine a wand with another one-handed weapon to create entirely different builds. I think that's one of the most exciting aspects of this design. The possibilities seem incredibly broad, and it will ultimately be up to each player to create a build that fits their own playstyle. I'm really glad the developers gave this weapon the attention it deserved, because there are plenty of players who enjoy not only casting spells, but also blending magic with melee combat to create true hybrid characters. And this is exactly something I was talking about earlier. If there is one thing that defines Stoneshard, it is that weapons are not simply different models with different statistics. Each one has its own philosophy and pushes the player toward a different way of playing. And if we think about it, even without looking at the abilities yet, the identity of wands compared to staves is already starting to become clearer. From what they have shown so far, it seems that wands will not be limited to melee combat. Besides their close-range attacks, they will also have ways to deal damage from a distance, creating a combination between both playstyles. And when we add the abilities from their skill tree on top of that, it looks like we are getting a weapon with a completely different identity. Not focused only on casting spells from afar like a traditional caster, and not focused only on melee combat like a conventional weapon, but rather on constantly switching between both options. And now, before looking at the abilities, there's one mechanic we need to understand, because almost the entire tree revolves around it. Wand charge. This effect represents the magical energy stored within the wand and serves as the main resource for most of its abilities. Charges can be generated in 3 different ways: by casting spells, using certain wand abilities, or landing critical hits with your wand. Each charge also inherits the element of the last spell you cast. Cast a pyromancy spell, and you'll gain fire charge. Cast an electromancy spell afterward, and that charge becomes lightning charge. In other words, only one charge type can be active at any given time. The first active ability is Locust Strike, a melee attack that increases damage, accuracy, and reduces fumble chance. It can also inflict daze and stagger, with all of these bonuses becoming stronger as you build more wand charge stacks. More importantly, landing the hit reduces the target's magic and nature resistances while generating 2 stacks of wand charge. Well, this seems to be the melee option of the tree. Its purpose isn't just to deal damage, but also to generate wand charge, allowing you to use the rest of the wand abilities with more stacks, which translates into higher damage or stronger crowd control effects. You can already see a clear combat flow taking shape. Engage in melee, build your charges, and then spend them at the right moment. I like that the tree doesn't rely solely on spell casting, but also encourages you to actively participate in close combat. The next ability is Flare, and it's probably the core skill of the entire tree. When used, it consumes 1 stack of wand charge to fire an energy bolt at the target. It also has a very interesting mechanic. Every new wand charge stack you gain reduces Flare's cooldown. In other words, the better you manage your charges, the more often you'll be able to use this ability throughout the fight. This skill looks like one of the first true ranged abilities in the tree, and at the same time, one that will require careful management of both timing and wand charge stacks. Another thing that caught my attention is that this ability deals damage based on the elemental charge currently stored in your wand. In other words, Flare's damage type depends on the spell you previously used to generate your charges. That's especially important for players who plan to combine multiple magic schools. Depending on the active element, you'll be able to adapt your wand abilities to deal different types of damage as the situation demands. The third active ability is Ley Alignment. When activated, it immediately grants 2 stacks of wand charge while also reducing the cooldown of all your spells and wand abilities. But that's only part of the effect. It also grants a powerful buff that increases your magic power, miracle potency, spell accuracy, and spell armor penetration. While this effect is active, Flare, Locust Strike, and your basic wand attacks also deal part of their damage to every enemy adjacent to the main target. The buff also evolves during combat. Using wand abilities increases its strength and duration, while casting spells consumes some of its stacks. I think this is going to be one of the most important abilities in the entire tree, regardless of the build you decide to play. Ley Alignment has an excellent mechanic because it benefits not only from all the buffs we've already seen, but also from positioning during combat. Choosing where to attack and how to group enemies together will be just as important as managing your charges. It's another detail that gives this weapon a unique identity and makes the entire tree feel much more tactical. The fourth active ability is Conflux. When activated, it consumes 1 wand charge stack to alter the magical flow of a selected tile. The more charge stacks you spend, the longer the effect lasts. Enemies standing on that tile take continuous damage while suffering stacking penalties to fortitude, move resistance, and control resistance. In addition, hitting those enemies with spells restores your energy, while wand attacks and abilities gain a chance to immobilize them. In other words, Conflux transforms part of the battlefield into a dangerous zone for any enemy that remains inside it. This is a completely different kind of ability compared to the ones we've seen so far, focusing primarily on weakening enemies over time. It will require builds and strategies that are designed around this kind of gameplay, but I have the feeling it will fit, especially well with magic schools like electromancy and geomancy, both of which already offer strong battlefield and movement control. The same could be true for one-handed weapons like blunts or shields, which excel at controlling enemies and taking advantage of those situations. If you enjoy crowd control-focused builds, I think Conflux could become one of the key abilities in the tree. On paper, it seems to offer a lot of tactical depth and could be an excellent tool for players who enjoy carefully planning each encounter. The final active ability is Sundering Ray. When activated, it consumes all your wand charge stacks to fire a piercing beam that travels through every enemy in its path. Its damage increases based on the number of wand charge stacks consumed, and also on the number of magical and elemental debuffs affecting the target. Even standing on a conflux tile counts as one of those effects. In addition, the beam extends the duration of those debuffs, and if it kills an enemy, it reduces its own cooldown and restores wand charge stacks, allowing you to chain another cast much sooner. I think this ability perfectly captures the philosophy of the entire tree. It's likely to be the highest damage ability in the tree, but reaching that potential depends on many different factors. Once again, it feels like there are many different ways to maximize this ability. Depending on your build, the magic school you choose, or even the secondary weapon you're carrying, there will be different ways to set up this moment. That makes the range of possible builds even broader and gives the tree a very flexible identity. Personally, I really like this design philosophy because it rewards planning and execution instead of simply increasing damage directly. Now let's move on to the passive abilities of the wand skill tree. These abilities don't just increase our power, they also shape how we play with wands. Whether we focus on one hand, dual wield them, or create a hybrid build combining magic and melee. And I think this is where we can start seeing the true flexibility this tree is trying to offer. This is a passive I was really looking forward to. The ability to apply magical effects like burning without relying on a very high critical damage from basic attacks opens up many possibilities. There are many magic schools that benefit from having enemies affected by magical statuses, such as burning or resonance, and this creates another way to apply them and build new strategies around them. The second passive ability is Refined Technique. This ability makes wands lose durability much slower, which is especially important considering that wand skills consume durability at an increased rate. However, the most interesting part depends on your equipment setup. When using a single wand, the tree's abilities gain additional range and shorter cooldowns, while basic attacks deal more damage and have a higher critical chance. On the other hand, when dual-wielding two wands, you gain a bonus to offhand efficiency and can choose an additional target when using flare. The most interesting part of this passive, at least to me, comes from combining flare with ley alignment while dual-wielding wands. In that situation, flare can target two different enemies, and thanks to ley alignment, it will also deal part of its damage to enemies adjacent to each of those targets. With good positioning, the reach of this ability could become enormous, especially in fights against groups of enemies. The third passive ability is Disintegration. Every time you hit an enemy with a wand attack or wand ability, they receive a stacking effect that increases the damage they take from all sources. Additionally, if you're using a single wand, the effect is applied twice with each hit, allowing you to stack it much faster. Well, this is a debuff-oriented passive that, while simple on the surface, could end up being extremely powerful. The interesting part is that it doesn't just increase wand damage, it increases the damage the enemy takes overall. That means every attack, spell, or ability used afterward also benefits from this effect. Once again, we can see just how versatile this tree is. The fourth passive ability is Sustained Flow. Every time you deal damage with a wand, the cooldown of all your spells is slightly reduced. Likewise, every spell you cast increases the damage of your next wand ability. In addition, using Flare while you only have one stack of wand charge will no longer consume that stack, allowing you to maintain your rotation more effectively. This is a passive that seems very simple at first glance. And honestly, it is. But that's exactly where its value comes from. It helps maintain the tree's rotation, making it much easier to chain your abilities together without losing momentum during combat. And being able to keep that last wand charge stack when using Flare could end up being much more valuable than it seems at first. The final passive ability is Ether Weave. Casting spells greatly reduces wand durability loss for several turns. On the other hand, using wand skills reduces backfire damage, decreases the damage you take, and grants a bonus to dodge chance. Additionally, when using a single wand, this effect can trigger twice per turn. The last passive also has something quite unique, and that's the reduction to wand durability loss. We still don't know exactly how much durability this weapon will lose when using its abilities, but considering the developers mentioned that wand skills consume durability faster, I imagine this will be an important factor to consider. We also don't know the exact percentages for dodge, chance, or damage taken reduction yet. But on paper, it seems like a very interesting defensive option. I like that it doesn't only improve the offensive side of the tree, but also helps solve some of the potential weaknesses of a hybrid build that wants to constantly switch between melee combat and magic. And that's everything we know about wands so far. We received a lot of information about their design, their abilities, and the philosophy behind this new weapon. The developers also teased that they will reveal more details in future devlogs, such as the changes related to grips for some two-handed weapons. But that will be a topic for another time. Before I finish, I would like to ask you something. While we were going through the different features of wands, did any build ideas already start forming in your mind? Is there anyone who already has a combination planned, whether it's with another magic school, another weapon, or a more hybrid setup? If so, leave your ideas in the comments so we can all share different possibilities, create new builds, and think about interesting combinations for when this update arrives. And with that, we finish for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you next time.